In the beginning of the conference, we were privy to one discussion from the podium where the issue was, let us identify and define liberty. Unfortunately, that was never defined. At least it wasn't defined to my satisfaction, because it remained, at least the topic of liberty remained very abstract, whereas we believe liberty is true liberty only when it is under God and under God's law. This speaker did not identify it as such, and it remained convoluted and abstract in his discussion. However, when Ron Paul got his chance to speak this evening, he was not curtailed by the press or by the media with sound bites, which he's not very good at because of what the media would do with those editings. But he was able to really express his ideas about what liberty is and what it should be. And I was very impressed, because I never heard a full hour of uninterrupted Ron Paul. Now again, as theologians, as Christians, we still believe that liberty is only true liberty under God, and we have to maintain the moral aspect of law. Ron alluded to that. He did allude to that. He spoke about virtue, which, again, of course, it's not defined. I would have liked to see it defined as biblical virtue, things which have a standard from the Scripture, which can be defined and looked at very clearly. But at least he was hinting toward those things. So I was rather encouraged. Unfortunately, when Chuck Baldwin spoke, which I think he did a fabulous job, he wasn't quick enough when he said he didn't want to see Christians in public office. And of course the crowd, at least some of the crowd, began to roar. But his sentence wasn't finished. He wanted to see people obedient to their oath of office, which would uphold the Constitution. My impression was that if you had true Christians, and that I think is the issue, true believers, people that are held to their oath because they fear God, then they would hold to the Constitution. So unfortunately, in the crowd that we had here this evening, and I think in the community of the libertarians, you have the Christians, which came and flocked to our table. Many knew Rushdoony, many knew his books. Others were introduced to his books and were very encouraged because of the scholarship that was involved there and the issues that are discussed and articulated by Rushdoony. They were very encouraged. But then you have that other faction, which I would classify not only as libertarian, but pretty much libertine, outside of the idea of morals, just whatever is right for you, then do. So you had those two camps. And yet, all in all, I have to say, I was encouraged, at least by the discussions that I was able to have and that Mark was able to have with some of those who came to our table. We really had a great time introducing or reintroducing, or at least solidifying, what Rushdoony was all about and his articulation of faith for all life.